Coming up this Sunday night at 7 p.m., Jazz Winnipeg will be presenting the fantastic up-and-coming drummer Josh Bonneteau at the Fort Garry Hotel. Bonneteau is a recent graduate of the University of Manitoba's jazz program and is quickly making a name for himself on the jazz scene, performing with the likes of Will Bonness, John Gordon, and Ron Paley. He has performed at such venues and events as the Burton Cummings Theatre, the TD Winnipeg International Jazz Festival, and the Harvest Moon Festival. This Sunday's show with Josh Bonneteau is sure to be something really special. And joining me here in the Classic 107 studio, I am joined by the one and only Josh Bonneteau. Hey, Josh, nice to have you here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. So you recently graduated from the Des Hotels Faculty of Music. When exactly did you graduate, and who did you study with, and what was your experience at U of M?
Yeah, so I actually officially graduated this past June. And when I was there, I was studying with Fabio Ragnelli, the drum professor there. It was great. No complaints at all. All the profs, they care so much for all their students, and they really, really put in the time for you, which maybe isn't always the case for other faculties, but yeah, that was great. I loved it.
That's fantastic. When I think of drummers, and I think of drummers starting early on, I very often think, they're trying to be the next John Bonham, Carter Beauford, Keith Moon.
Right.
How did you get into jazz drumming? And can you talk about some of the drummers that made you change your mind and go in that direction?
So funny enough, I did grow up with John Bonham being the big guy for me. That was kind of my idol for sure. Just that's how my dad plays drums, so he kind of showed me all that stuff. But I'd say I kind of transitioned to jazz through my school band programs. Especially kind of in high school, I started to get a little more into it, and my teacher, who was also a drummer, kind of pushed me in that way, and then I just started listening to more jazz. And in terms of drummers that would have just transitioned me into that, probably guys like Tony Williams was really big for me. Yeah, honestly, it was kind of him. He was the main guy. He kind of just blew my mind when I listened to him, and then I was like, I need to check more of this stuff out. So,
who's your band director? Give him a shout out.
Matthew Abraham at Vincent Massey.
Right.
Great program they have going on there.
Absolutely. Okay, so now that you're making a career for yourself as a jazz drummer, are there kinds of jazz that you sort of gravitate towards more? Is it like hard bop? Is it funk? What do you really like
definitely.
To play?
I'd say I definitely gravitate more towards kind of hard bop, or a lot of the stuff that was happening in the 60s. That was and actually especially more recently, I've been getting more into kind of the weird stuff, I guess you'd call it, a little more free and a bit out there.
So the Coltrane,
the Ornette Coleman stuff.
Late 60s,
yeah. Which I'm hoping to do some of that kind of stuff on this gig. We'll see how that goes, but I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be fun. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you do have this show this Sunday night at the Fort Garry Hotel. Who else is going to be on stage with you? Who's in the band?
Yeah, so it'll be I'll be joined by Nolan Gottfried on alto saxophone, Emmanuel Bach-Camargo on guitar, and Liam Allen on bass.
Yeah, so just a
quartet. Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the tunes that you're going to be playing? Is it going to be standards? Is it going to be originals? Combination of both?
A combination of both. And so I'd say I think I'm doing about 3 of my originals and then a few standards, and also some tunes that aren't mine that aren't really standards. I'm doing a Paul Motion song, which I wouldn't really consider a standard, but it's also not anything I've written. So yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of your own tunes and where they came from?
Yeah. So actually, I think it's for the exception of one, all the other ones I'd played on past recitals when I was at the U of M. And yeah, as a drummer, writing can be especially writing jazz can be kind of difficult sometimes. It's pretty daunting for sure. But Fabio, my teacher, he gave me a lot of kind of techniques to get out of the overwhelmness of it.
But where's the inspiration come from?
Oh, I see. So the inspiration probably comes, I guess, just kind of from the music I'm listening to. So a lot of, like we were saying, kind of Tony Williams stuff. But it maybe doesn't maybe if you listen to it, you wouldn't guess that, but it's definitely kind of all there for sure.
Yeah. You were talking about doing maybe doing some avant-garde stuff. I watched when I was getting ready for the interview. I realized you're in this group, The Mundane Problems. I watched a couple videos on YouTube. They're absolutely hilarious. They're hilarious in a good way. Can you talk about how that group came together, and are you going to be doing any of that kind of stuff on Sunday night?
So I won't be doing any of that stuff on Sunday night. Unfortunately, that's kind of its own thing. But so yeah, that started with Christopher Dunn. He's I think he's finishing his last year now at the U of M, like the classical vocalist from Newfoundland. And this is kind of his baby. Like he's been wanting to do this. He's really big into the improv stuff, so he's been really wanting to do this for a while. And it kind of started. I don't know. One time we were on like the practice room floor, and he just asked us, "Hey, you guys want to? I have this idea. You want to kind of jam with me?" And it kind of just took off from there. And we've been really fortunate that people are into it as well. It's a bit out there as a concept, I guess, but it's great. It's been a lot of fun.
And for our listeners, the Mundane Problems, it's essentially a jazz trio, sort of. And then you have a singer who's doing some hilarious stuff and playing some hilarious characters on stage, right?
Yeah. Yeah, funny enough, like, I mean, the trio, like the musicians, we are all actually jazz musicians. We went to the U of M, but we don't really do a whole lot of jazz on that gig, actually. It's a lot more kind of like, we try to kind of do other genres like funk, a lot of stuff like that, so. And just
interacting with the singer.
Exactly.
Have you played at the Fort Garry Hotel? And if so, what do you like about the venue?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to have played there quite a few times. It's a great venue. It's great to have something like that in Winnipeg because we don't have. That's kind of the only like dedicated jazz venue we have in the city. Yeah, it's been great. Everyone there is super kind, super sweet. Zachary Rushing, I'll give him a shout out from Jazz Winnipeg. He's been so good for booking people, and we're very fortunate to have him as like a kind of programs coordinator there.
Yeah, Zach's great. It's been so great to meet you, Josh. What do you hope people are going to take away from Sunday Night Show?
I feel like nothing specific. Maybe just like I'd like everyone to kind of take away something, whether it be good or bad. Like, I mean, that's so subjective, right? But as long as they leave feeling something or being able to think about something differently, whatever it is, I just think, to me, that's kind of important. I want to have someone going home with something, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Absolutely. Josh, this has been so great. All the best this Sunday, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. It's been wonderful.
Thanks a lot.
For our Classic 107 listeners, Josh Bonneteau performs this Sunday at 7 p.m. at the Fort Garry Hotel. For more details, go to jazzwinnipeg.com or go to classic107.com and click on the article that I have written about the show, and you can find it there. Josh, thanks again.
Thanks.